up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Another quick stream coming in. Masters, what's good? Ooh, got a doozy today. It's about confidence. Talking about confidence. For the game, for life, all that stuff. We're talking about confidence today. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it off how I normally do, of course, which is freestyle to kind of get my energy right, see what's going on in the present moment for me. Improvised right now, live and direct. And yeah, we'll see what comes out. I'm gonna run this beat back because I liked it. It felt good. So we'll start with that. And then we'll kick in to our topic of confidence today. More particular, how to improve confidence with growth rap. And it's a big topic, so I might just talk about do like a two-parter thing with it today. But I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let me do some bars real quick, just to see how I feel in the space. Hopefully this sounds good to y'all. But either way, it's going to be what it is. Let's enjoy the moment. Yes. So, off the top of the brain once again, going in without a pen, just ascension to another place. Maybe it's another dimension where I keep pace. Yes, I'm running with the style, inspiration, feeling good. Make you smile, just like I knew I could. I knew I should get the mic and be free. I tried to do it back in elementary, but didn't have the guide. Just had the feeling to get live, just to get the people with their hands high, feeling the vibe, waving side to side as we feeling alright. It's a good time in the place, putting smiles upon the face. That's what I do. I operate with grace. I know the world gets dark sometimes, but I like to be the light that shines. Call it a candle in the cave. Anyway, this is for the knaves, the fools that put their pens to the page, but to understand that you can do it for a long days instead of doing it for checks that sign with your name. Maybe checks for your name is a good thing too, because money matters and how we move and how we groove. It's just fuel to the fire, but the fire always comes for your desire. Don't be a liar, but I play the lie with the melodies. I take it higher than the heavenly with the cherubim, with the wings. Have a good time doing the thing. It's always about the good and the joy. As I see the best moves from the best b-boys and b-girls, they up rock the world as we do it for the hip-hop, the community that's non-stop from the top. All right, that felt good to me. So that's where we're going to stop it. Air horns, of course, because why not? All right, y'all. Talking about confidence. But before I do that, I put a question to the members of the Rhyme Masters community about an alternate big three, right? Battle seems to be over, at least at this moment in time, seems to be over between Kendrick and Drake, and it's a lot of the overwhelming consensus is that Kendrick won. At least from my students that talk about it, and just from like what gets in my feed. But of course, my feed could be biased to me because I do prefer Kendrick over Drake, musically and as an artist. But if we had to make a big three, a new big three, if Drake lost his spot, right, and we had Kendrick and J. Cole, could Rhapsody be that in that third slot of the big three? That's my question to you. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chats what you think. Could Rhapsody hold down the third spot in the big three? I have my opinions on it, but I'll save them. And shouts out to Rhapsody, just the album. I'm digging it. I love the direction. I love, I know you wouldn't call it this, but I call it growth rap music. It's something where I feel like clearly she's putting a lot of the the work that she's been doing on herself throughout the years on the record. And that's the kind of music I resonate with. It's also the reason I still stay in the craft, is because of it's a place for the work I do on myself for it to go. And it's also a place where when I'm doing the work to make the music, I can continue to grow as well. So that's the beautiful aspect of it. All right, so enough of that. Confidence. How did this come up for me today? I got a show. It's a storytelling show I got coming up on Thursday. It's called Telltale. I've done it at least once a year for like probably the last 3 to 4 years. And it's a storytelling show. Well, you know, you share a story and, you know, people dig it. Oh, as the saying goes, we get vulnerable and take no ish. That's what the tagline is for it. So anyway, I got a show coming up this Thursday, and I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to do this time? What story am I going to tell? And the story I'm going to tell is essentially why I am devoted and committed to this idea of growth rap. And I won't tell the story here, at least not today, just because it'll make this stream a little longer than I want it to be. Excuse me. But in kind of practicing the story, what came up was the theme of my life was confidence, right? A little bit of how it came up, I'll give it to you like this, is so the first career that I pursued, you know, from my youth was basketball. And I got to a point where I didn't have enough confidence to be able to keep pursuing it. I had enough competence and enough skill to hold my own, and I still have some skills to this day, but not enough confidence to be able to sustain and keep pushing through. And as I was telling the story and practicing, I realized, oh man, this lack of confidence has been a thread throughout my life. And I've used, so maybe you can resonate with this, right? If an area that you're not feeling confident in, right? You don't have that belief in yourself. One way that we can overcompensate or deal with that is, all right, well, let me just practice real hard, study real hard, and develop the skill in that area. And then once I know I have the skill, I will believe in myself and have confidence. So in rapping, right, you get that desire to rap. You are, all right, I'm going to practice. And maybe you practice with, I'll start with freestyling, but you can do it in various ways. So in freestyling, you'll put on a beat and you'll try, and you're like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And then you'll go to YouTube and other places and find tutorials to help you get the skills you needed to develop that belief in yourself and the ability. With rap writing, for example, you will, you'll just start writing and not quite knowing what you're doing, just letting things come out. Maybe things rhyme, but you struggle putting it to a beat. But eventually you'll put it to a beat, and either, it doesn't sound quite right. So again, you might go online, go to YouTube, all these places, and get some tips and guidance and develop a basic skill level in the area of rap writing, rapping, and freestyling, right? But what happened to me, and I suspect it probably is happening or has happened to you, is that all that work you're doing to get skillful in rap, you are looking at the areas you need to improve in. You are noticing that when you go to freestyle, I'm running out of rhymes. And so then you work on improving rhymes. Suddenly you have the ability to rhyme, but then you notice you use the same cadence. So then you are looking for how to improve your cadences, how to improve your rhythms, right? And when you are doing this, like if you notice, you keep getting better, but you're always looking for the areas you want to improve in, because to master something on a skill level, you want to improve on your weaknesses, right? But always looking at your weaknesses always focuses you on the gap between this idealized place where you want to be skill wise and the lack of skill that you have to get you to that idealized place. And so going back to my basketball example, like I am and was competent in the game of basketball. I practice, and I didn't just like, oh, play pickup games. Like, I studied the game. Kids would play 21 and, run half court, full court games. And occasionally I would play those games, but not before doing my 100 shots, not before doing my down and backs and working on my handles, working on my weak hand to get that stronger, working on going left, even though I shot right. So I was always working on aspects of my game that needed to be improved, but I was focusing so much on what I needed to improve that I never really focused on what I did well. And when it comes to confidence, to have that belief in yourself, like, you can't just have confidence by, oh, I'm just gonna believe that I can do it. Like, it doesn't, I think that's the end result. How you get to that place where you believe that you can do it is you have to trust your process. You have to trust your skill level. But how do you develop the trust in your skill level when every time you go to practice your skill, you're focusing on what you don't do well? All right? Like, that's maybe the con of confidence and developing skills, is that we do have to look at the things that we don't do well, but there's also a moment. There's also value in looking at what we've gained and how we've improved. All right. So, like, I'm gonna talk some more about how we can begin to develop it, but I want to let me pull this up real quick. So I'm gonna pause here and ask. So if you get to this point in the stream or the video, whenever the replay, or if this happens to be a short, I want to ask you, how do you define confidence in general? You could also say in rap, and rapping, but in general, how do you define confidence? And for me, it used to be the definition of just, believing in yourself and having that feeling of certainty, that you can do what you set out to do. But I want to share a new definition that I didn't create, but I found. Let me pull it up here. And it comes from the book, The Confident Mind. And I'll give you the author here in just a second, if you want to. So it's by Dr. Nate. Hold on. Just saw it. All right. Dr. Nate Zinsser. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Zinsser. Dr. Nate Zinsser. Confident Mind. Great book on it that I'm referencing for this. And it's one that I'm coming back to for it. But the definition that I roll with now comes from this book. And let me find it. Where is it at? Okay. So, confidence is that feeling you can do something so well that you don't have to think about how to do it when you're doing it. That skill or knowledge is in you. It's part of you, and it will come out when needed if you let it. So the idea that when you're confident, it's the things that come out naturally. And I guess naturally also implies like, oh, you just have it in you, and that's going to be the wrong word to use. But I'll just say you practice something so much that it just is a part of you. It makes me think of an example where old school, and I think this is probably true for a lot of NBA players, but I remember I think Larry Bird was doing a commercial and he like needed to miss for the shot, and it was a challenge to get Larry Bird to miss because he practiced so much making the shot, right? So extremely confident in his ability to be able to do this thing unconsciously. So in The Confident Mind, it goes on to say that when you have confidence, you suspend the analytical mind, the judgment mind, the self-critical mind, and you're just in that unconscious state of performance. And so when I think about confidence this way, it's something that I'm still working on. So I just freestyled to start this whole thing, and one of my gifts in freestyling and really just in life is that I have strong self-awareness of my internal world, right? As an introvert, it's very busy what's going on inside my head. The double-edged sword of that is when I'm in moments of performance. Those all right. Apparently I'm getting a voice call. I gotta decline that real quick. When I'm in these moments of performance, that inner awareness can get in the way and like cause me to generate anxiety about what I'm doing, right? I start bringing in past experiences. I start, there's a whole lot of things that I end up doing that just takes me out of the present moment of just delivering the performance of the moment, right? And so in this last freestyle that I just did to warm up, I was really being conscious of, all right, let me just be in the moment and trust the level of skill that I have to let whatever come to me. And I can still think of a moment, and this is kind of the interesting part right now too. I can think of a moment where I had the thought, maybe I repeated myself, right? After the moment of performance, I'm so conditioned to remember what I need to improve on, right? Oh, I repeated myself there. I haven't developed the skill yet to go back and think of, all right, what are the highlights? What did I do well? And store that into my experience, because that's the key for confidence with rapping and life in general is, yes, you practice and you work on skills when you're practicing and working on skills. But at the end of that practice session or the end of the performance or whatever, it's important that you are storing the moments where you've made progress and that you have achieved. Because when it comes time to feel confident in the moment, so this Thursday when I go do this show, I will tell the story and then I'm going to incorporate freestyling with it. I will need to have a belief within my ability to do freestyling unconsciously, like without having to I guess it's not really overthink it, but without having to be super analytical about it. So if I was breaking it down, right, I need to have a sense of certainty. So that's the feeling of complete faith in what I'm doing, that I have the ability to do what I'm doing, so that I can bypass the conscious thought of that I have when I'm freestyling, right? So I can execute unconsciously. That's where I have to get my state in before I do that. You can do this at any level. So, right? So beginning rappers, beginning freestylers, you can do this as well. you can like be confident in the level that you are in and what you can do and perform that well. And then when you go to practice, you work and you work on your skills, but then you notice how you've gotten better. You believe in that ability, and then you bring that ability to the moment of performance. And performance can mean obviously the freestyling in the moment, but it could also be the performance of like, okay, I'm going to write a song, right? The act of writing is a performance because you're performing the act. The act of rapping on record is a performance. So you want to cultivate that sense of certainty that you can do what you are able to do, that having that faith in it. Store the highlights of your practice. Store the highlights of the disciplined approach to getting better in your craft. So that's that's part one on it. Let me know what lands for you on this. It's a very it's very interesting. I'll describe it in another way where it's like, especially in the realm of improvising and freestyling. So the analogy I'll use to kind of keep it in the basketball domain is if you are playing another opponent and you play them in a scrimmage, and then after the scrimmage is done, like they keep scoring everything, you play them again, but now the game is real. The court's the same, the opponent's the same, the game is the same, but the difference is there are stakes, right? There's a winner and there's a loser. And I bring that up because when we're freestyling, right, your mind's the same. The beats might change, whatever, but it's still your same mind, the same person. And what changes is the attention, right? So when you're scrimmaging, you are able to work on specific skills because you're trying to improve in those areas, right, as a team or even as a player. But then when it's time to play the actual game, then it's like, all right, I got to perform to the best of my ability. And then that's where you want to have the confidence to be able to perform at the best of your ability. Because Dr. Nate Zisner also says in this book that it's kind of agreed upon, I guess, those who kind of study in this domain, that like your ability to perform beyond conscious thought, any activity, any skill, generally gives you a better result than if you are mired in conscious thinking about every little micro step that you got to do in order to execute a task, right? So you practice to get things into a habit, right? And then you trust in your practice and your results to be able to perform to the best of your ability when it's time to perform. So that's how you do it. And I say with growth rap, it's the intention. Like you have to practice with this intention. You can't just freestyle for the sake of freestyling, because you're always freestyling, just trying to get better, focusing on the things you need to improve on. You're getting better, sure, but your experience of it is going to suffer because you're always going to notice the mistakes. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to practice this, and yes, I'm going to mess up because I'm practicing, but now I'm performing. Okay, and now when I perform, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to let it be free and let whatever come out, and trust that it's dope, it's great, it's fun, it's self-expression, it's joyous, and that's the energy that will get cultivated in the moment of the freestyle, and that's what will allow you to deliver a quality performance, as well as you being able to enjoy it yourself and to keep doing it next time, right? So yes, that's it. I'm landing the plane now. More I could say on it, but of course I'm curious to what you think. Let me know in the comments. You can email me as well. Basically, what's the email? Basically Desmond at DesmondSpan.com. You can email me there directly, or Fearless Freestyling at DesmondSpan.com. You can check me out there. And speaking of Fearless Freestyling, some of this, though I don't talk about confidence directly, I talk about more about defeating the defeating perfectionism and fear and all that. There's definitely some overlap between defeating the perfectionism and developing confidence. So you can check that out. It's, yeah, there's a link below, so you can check that out there. All right, checking in. All right, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so cool. I think we did it. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this. So for those lucky few that make it to the end, I want to start doing this because I want to give you an opportunity to practice, right? So we're gonna trade some fours, and how we're gonna do this, hopefully this works, is I'm gonna put on the beat, I'll freestyle 4, and then I'm gonna pause for 4 beats, not 4 beats, 4 bars, and then that's your turn, right? And then I'll go, and then you go, and we'll do this. I don't know, we'll do this a good 4 times. Yeah, good 4 times. So you'll have at least 4 opportunities to spit 4 bars. My tip for you is to use maybe the last word I say as like a prompt for what you speak on, or just do what you feel, right? But practice that confidence, practice letting go and suspending that conscious thought and just trusting your ability wherever it is and perform that to the best of your ability, right? So yeah, let's do that. We're going to end with that, and then we'll call it good. Let me find a beat that I want to change it up to. Let me see if this one. Let's see. This might be it. This might be it. Actually, it's not it. All right, here it is. We're going to go back to this one. All right, so we're trading 4s, all right? So once the beat drops, I'll do 4, and then I'll give you 4. So we're going to start it like this. Off the mic, yes, we must rip. This is what I do when I feel I got the gift. Bring it back, now you spit. 1, 2, 3, and sure, that was tight with the inspiration. Now I'm feeling it over here in my situation. Have a good time, hands in the air, celebration. Feel that vibration. 2, 3, 4. That's right. We talk about the confidence, how to get that off the fence, how to make sure that you will be immense, have a style that expands and not condense. 2, 3, and 4. All right, last time for the last rhyme, bringing it back, making the top dime, the top line like it was a melody. Come on, bring something in heavenly. Yep. 2, 3, finish strong. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. Bravo, bravo. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. All right. Glad you had fun. I had fun. And until the next time, y'all. The next stream is going to be Tuesday. We won't do it on Memorial Day here in the U.S. Tuesday, 2:30, we will be back again. And as always, Genius Over Doubt, I will catch y'all in the next one. Deuces, y'all. Let's play it out with this. Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.